It is another duel between Cool Umbrella and Black Knight. If you are sick and tired and just exhausted of seeing Cool Umbrella on the channel, even though he's a pretty cool guy, you can go to my Discord. It's in the link of this description. There's a section for you to submit your own replays. It's replays for human, and get them up on the channel. Now, I can't guarantee they'll get up there, but I can guarantee that everything goes in there. I will watch and see if it is worthy. So, it's not my fault Cool Umbrella has a bunch of banger games. Maybe you should get your banger-ass replays in there, and then we can stop just turning this into the Cool Umbrella channel. Until then, I will continue to cast any game I determine to be entertaining. Oh, what do we have? Skaven High Elves, traditionally a bad matchup for the High Elves. Quite favored for the Skaven. We do have a return of the boy, Throt the Unclean. If you want to see why this is a bad matchup for the High Elves, just watch this real quick. And goodbye. So yeah, it's tough for the High Elves usually. Anyway, Avalanche Mortars, Natty Boobo Sharpshooters as both the range pressure. Then we have a whole bunch of Night Runners mixed with some Gutter Runners. It looks like 6 in total, 4 Night Runners, 2 Gutter Runners. An Assassin, Throt the Unclean on his Brood Horror, a Plague Priest on foot, and a front line of just Skaven Slaves because all the money was spent on skirmishers and weapons teams. A couple Rat Ogres as well. For the High Elves, Silverhelms, Dragon Princes, a whole bunch of Spearmen, more Dragon Princes, more Silverhelms, Spearmen, Imric up on his Dragon, and a Mage of Life with Earthblood and Regrowth. Traditionally in this matchup, High Elves bring as little infantry as possible because of what just happened to those 3 units of Spearmen. They generally try to stick to Phoenix spam or Cav spam or Chariots when Chariots are good, but it's generally a bad matchup for the High Elves because they just have so many great targets for the Skaven to nuke down. Now, Dragon Princes and Silverhelms are pushing through the side. The Gutter Runners and Night Runners are neat at skirmishing. They're doing some decent damage, taking very little in reproach, but they also don't hold space very well, allowing the Dragon Princes to just go where they please. Avalanche Mortar teams are going to get peeled by Throt and some Rat Ogres, so good play there from the Skaven. Imric lends a Breath Attack that actually does a lot more damage than I would have thought against the Rat Ogres, but from the other side we can see more Silverhelms streaking in. There's just no safe place for all of the Skaven mobility to go, as Imric is going to land in. He's taking a lot of damage from the enemy with Sharpshooters, who put him under pressure. Now, every single Skaven game goes like this. It starts great, and the entire win condition is, did it go great enough? And we will see. As you can see, the balance of power is heavily favored for the Skaven. That is going to change significantly as the Cav have finally gotten onto the Scryer weapons teams. You can see they are just getting obliterated by all of these Cav, and even Rat Ogres are getting pushed off as Imric is stuck fighting Throt and a Rat Ogre summon, so that will go away soon. Meanwhile, he's just trying to survive. He's even getting a regrowth to keep him in the fight for a little bit longer. Balance power getting significantly better for the High Elves as weapons teams die. And this front line of Skaven looks tough, but it is entirely Skaven Slaves. They are essentially useless, which, I mean, is fine. I'm not complaining. That's their whole thing. Rat Ogre summon, 20 seconds left, and Imric is beating the brakes off of Throt the Unclean. Now, Imric does do fire damage, which Throt is weak to, being on a Brood Horror mount. It also reduces his healing, and his leadership is not great, so he does actually just rout off, as Imric is going to push through him. His Rat Ogre summon is about to fail, and you can see now the High Elves are even caught up on the balance of power. Classic Skaven gameplay. Now, there are some decently healthy skirmishers still running around. The Avalanche Mortars aren't dead yet, though there are Dragon Princes that can chase them. Maybe they'll rally, who knows? And Throt is gaining some distance between himself and Imric, so he should be able to rally, come back, heal up for a while, and be okay. Skaven Caster is also still alive, though I am significantly concerned what can kill off all the Cav that's still left, because they can receive healing from their Mage of Life, and Night Runners and Gunner Runners aren't the greatest at dealing with heavy Cav. High armor and shields aren't exactly their favorite thing to be throwing their little ninja stars at. We'll have to see. Avalanche Mortars did rally. So did the Warplock Jezzails. A little bit of a mistake there from the High Elf player. The Dragon Princes are now going to have to sprint them down. Shouldn't be too big of an issue, but still, some free damage you didn't really want to take. Do have our little ninja rat friends. Currently waiting for new orders to get back into the fight. And Imric is busy chasing Throt around the battlefield, though he's currently caught in some Skaven Slaves. Okay. Cav catching these teams once again. One more time, they are getting taken down. And some backwards ninja star throws towards the Spearmen. But now our little friends will harass the Dragon Princes. Looks like the Dragon Princes don't really care too much for these Night Runners. They're busy just making sure the Avalanche Mortars never come back. Which, with one model, they are not going to shatter. 1 HP and 1 model. No shattering for them. Leadership is a lie and a falsehood. There we go. They finally die. Balance of power still about even. I would say slightly favored for the High Elves. And these Dragon Princes really need to come just run down these Night Runners. Putting their backs to them just makes them take a lot more damage because their shields aren't facing the right way. Alright, a giant pile of Skaven slaves is attacking the Mage of Life, and the Assassin is also pushing towards her. One last regrowth onto Imric, and his healing cap will probably appear soon. And the Assassin is going to finish off the Mage of Life. So no more healing. No more. It is gone. Boo. Boo healing. Throt, meanwhile, fighting some Dragon Princes, trying to finish them off, but the super elite High Elf Cav are tenacious, if nothing else. My Mage of Life is holding on. I kind of thought the Assassin would deal with her much quicker. Imric is going to land in. Looks like he wants to take out the Skaven healing, and he will do so. Foot characters are generally considered tanky and hard to deal with, but not for dragons. Dragons have excellent animations to actually hit foot characters, which is a good thing. Clan Route Summon coming up from the Plague Priest. Assassin's still trying to get decent shots onto the Mage of Life, and he is doing some damage, but it's just taking him a little longer than anticipated. Skaven are rallying some of their skirmishing elements. Everybody's coming back in, but the skirmish elements are almost out of ammunition, turning them into, again, pretty subpar melee units. Yeah, no one's really that scared of Night Runners in melee. Gutter Runners in melee are decent, but not incredible. Plague Priest Terror Routes. I don't see what can deal with Imric anymore. There's no Rat Ogres left. There's just Throt, but we saw how poorly the duel went for Throt earlier. Throt thinks about charging the Mage of Life, then he cancels it, and then he gets stuck a little bit. And now Imric's going to come over. Does he have any buffs? Dragonhorn is popped right now, giving him 98 melee attack. And Throt's remoldered on himself, is giving himself more leadership and melee attack and such, but that doesn't help his defense at all. And Imric is just going to destroy him. Mage of Life finally routes. High Elves are in mass exodus except for Imric. But I really think Imric is all they're going to need here. Clan Rat Summon fades away. Imric's still beating up Throt. And I think this might be over. Like, there's a shit ton of Skaven, but I legitimately don't think any of them can hurt Imric. Imric's walking around. Dragon Princes are routed off. Imric's walking around. He snipes out Throt. His healing cap's within sight. Breath attack comes back. Starts fighting a bunch of stuff. Throt comes back. Imric walks at him menacingly. And Imric is just going to nom a bunch of stuff. With Assassin's Trophy on him, he only has 32 melee defense. He's actually taking a pretty good amount of work from all these Night Runners, Gutter Runners, and such. Throt even charge backs in. And for once, the Skaven are coming back on the balance of power here. Throt is super close to death. I'm kind of surprised his leadership is even that high, considering how low his health is. Now he's getting attacked in the rear, starts to run away. He has a little bit more regeneration to go, but not a lot as Imric is after him. But the Assassin's poking him in the back the entire time. He's getting real low. He can't ignore that Assassin. I think he either needs to commit to chasing down Throt, or he needs to just snipe out this Assassin, because it's the Assassin's Trophy debuff plus occasional pokes in the butt that are doing so much damage to him. And Night Runners, Gutter Runners, Skaven Slaves, all trying to keep Imric a little bit honest here. Without units on the ground, so that's starting to apply the flying leadership debuff if Imric ever tries to leave a fight. Alright, dog knocked over a mouse behind me, but that is fine. Ha! Mouse, Skaven, rats. Ha! Imric finally gets the big attack he was looking for onto the Assassin, routing him off. No more big debuffs. So with that, his 56 melee defense is 90 armor. Should be able to keep him. Whoa! Imric's leadership just dipped negative for quite a while there. That's alarming. That is alarming. Okay. Looks like he's just going to be happy attacking some Gutter Runners for now. He might want to chase the Assassin just to get himself outside of this big blob of units. But it looks like he is just going to opt to stay and fight. Poke, poke, poke. Throt charges back in, gets a nice 400 chunk onto him. Throt is heal capped. He's heal capped 100%. He's about to lose his leadership. No, he hangs in there. And Imric is down on the balance of power. Skaven Assassin rallies, meaning Assassin's Trophy debuff is back on him. Imric's down to 32 melee defense. Throt is going to try and charge in one more time. Imric needs to countercharge or he's going to take a big chunk of damage. There's another 400 damage off of him. He swings at Throt, but he misses. Balance of power is significantly against the High Elves. He is taking so much damage. Imrik is fighting back, but he finally gets a good hit onto Throt. His leadership goes negative for a second. Now it's back up to 6. He's still trying to defeat Throt. If he can push off Throt, maybe he can survive this as the assassin is coming in behind him. He's still fighting, and Clan Mange, Cool Umbrella, will claim the victory. I did not think that he could actually kill Imrik. Very close. And wow, after all that, Throt did not even come close to paying for himself. God damn it, Throt. I hate you. Assassin did great. Both the weapons teams did excellently. The Plague Priest did okay. Throt did fine. He just didn't do great, which is weird. Like, I thought after all that I was going to have to eat my words, but nope. He's still like 700 gold short of paying for himself. Gutter Runners are very good. I've been liking them a lot. It's just Poison Globes are so hard not to take. But I think if Globes finally get the nerf that they should, Gutter Runners and Night Runners will explode into popularity because they're already a good unit. It's just there's great units on the same roster you could be taking. Skaven Slaves did alright. Since the transfer to ultra unit size, Skaven Slaves have been overperforming. They honestly need a little bit of a nerf. I hope they don't get gutted, but they do need a nerf. Imrik, 5,100 value. Dragon Princes also did quite well. Silver Helms did fine if you combine the two values. Spearman got entirely obliterated, as all High Elf infantry do in this matchup, and the Lifecaster didn't get a lot of value, but that's not really her job. GG well played to both players. And Imrik might need a nerf. He might. Just maybe. Roar! Subscribe, yes, yes.